Good morning, my dear friends. In our previous class, on Monday, we had seen in this chapter percentage composition, that how we will find the percentage composition of each element present in one molecule of compound. We had seen it. After this process, how we will find the percentage composition of all the elements present in a compound, we had seen that empirical formula. What is empirical formula? The empirical formula of a compound is the simplest formula, smallest formula, which gives the simplest ratio in whole numbers of atoms of different elements present in one molecule of that compound. We had seen these things. Now today we will see, if we are given a compound, how we will find the empirical formula. Or if we are given the percentage of a compound, better we should say we have been given the percentage of a compound, how we will find the empirical formula. My dear students, don't go through these lines. Bookish language sometimes may create some confusion and problems. So we will do by our own concept. How we will find the empirical formula. Forget this. We will come to this later on. Here we are given, find the empirical formula of compound whose percentage composition is zinc is 47.8. It is 47.8. Here is what? Following percentage composition means 47.8%. Chlorine is 52.2%. If no percent is written, that means it is in percentage. Here it is mentioned 9.76%, 13.01%, this is 26.01%, and water is 51.22%. So what is the first step? We will write the name of elements. Then what is its composition? 47.8, 52.2. If you add it, it will be 8 plus 2, 10. 1 carry here. Now 2 plus 1, 3 plus 7, 10. 1 carry here, 5 plus 500. This sum will always come 100. This should come 100. Then here is your atomic mass. Atomic mass of zinc is 65 and atomic mass of chlorine is 35.5. Now divide this percentage by atomic mass. This percentage composition of zinc, we will divide the percentage composition of zinc 47.8 by its atomic mass. It will come 0.73. Similarly, this percentage composition of chlorine 52.2, we will divide by 35.2. Now you see, here is 52.2 by this. After dividing, it comes 0.73 and it comes 1.46. Now you can see which one is smaller. This is smaller. So here each smaller one. It was 0.73 was the smaller, and here it was 1.46. Divide both atomic ratio by 0.73. It will come 1, it will come 2. So this 1 stands for what? Zinc, and 2 stands for chlorine. So first column will be name of elements, then it will be composition, percentage composition of each element, then it will be atomic mass, then atomic ratio. Atomic ratio is percentage divided by atomic mass, fourth column. Then last column it will be simplest ratio. For simplest ratio, what we will do? We will divide the atomic ratio by the smallest one. Now it will come 1, it is 2. This means this one stands for zinc and 2 stands for chlorine. So what will be the ratio? 1 is to 2. So what will be empirical formula? Zn1, Zn1 Cl2. But we know if we write Zn1 Cl2, we omit this one and then we write ZnCl2. Here we will see another one. Here is magnesium, then sulfur, oxygen, then water. If you count, it is 6 plus 1, 7, 8, 10, 0, carry 1. 8 plus 2, 10, carry 1. So 1, 1, 2, 6, 8 plus 3, 11 plus 9, 20, 0. 5 plus 2, 7, 2, 9 plus 1. So it comes 100, means it is percentage composition in 100. Atomic mass of magnesium is 24 and sulfur is 32, oxygen is 16. Water molecules. What will be its mass? Molecular mass 1 in 2 hydrogen atom, means it will be 2 plus 16, 18. Now divide this percentage composition 9.76 by its atomic mass. So 9.7 by 24. Similarly, 13.01 by 32, it comes this one. For 26 by this one, it comes 1.625. Then 51.22 by 18, it comes this one. Now see, these 4 are the atomic ratio of magnesium, sulfur, oxygen and water. Which one is smallest? Obviously 4.406. So we will divide all these by 0.406. Now it comes 1, it is 1, it is 4, it is 7. It means what? Here Mg is 1, sulfur is 1, oxygen is 4, so it will be Mg1S1O4, means MgSO4. Then water molecule is 7, means the empirical formula will be MgSO4, point means plus 7H2O. Now here is another one. We should know this one especially. Organic compounds. What is organic compounds? The compounds which contains, essentially they contains carbon. They contains carbon. They may contain hydrogen. Then they may or may not contain. May contain or may not contain. Like this is C2H2. Methane, CH4, this is ethane or even we call acetylene. Last day I have told you it is acetylene or its name is ethine. Sorry, ethine. N-E-N-E, ethine. So this is ethine, this is methane, and this is ethane. They all are organic compounds, but they don't contain oxygen. This is your CH3OH, contains carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. It is also organic compound which contains oxygen. So organic compounds may or may not contain oxygen, but essentially it will contain carbon. Sometimes what happens, here is an organic compound has oxygen this and hydrogen this. Find its empirical formula. What I had told you, every organic compound essentially contains carbon. So we will first find the percentage of carbon. How we will find the percentage of carbon? See Babu, if hydrogen is 4.92 and oxygen is 26.24. Oxygen is 26.24. First we will add this one. 4 plus 2 it is 6, 9 plus 2 it is 11, 1 carry a 5 plus 6 11, 1, then it is 3. So now where is carbon? Without carbon we cannot imagine about organic compounds, so carbon is missing. So subtract this from carbon. It will be 4, 8, 8, 6. This one will be the amount of carbon. So organic compound essentially contains carbon. So find the composition of carbon. How we will find? I have told you just right now. So percentage composition of carbon will be 100 minus oxygen plus carbon ka composition. Now once again here then carbon will be this, hydrogen will be this, oxygen will be this, and now here we will have the same process. Sometimes we may not be given composition. We may be given molecular mass. We may be given molecular mass. We may be given empirical, we may be given this one, what I say, density. From there we have to find the empirical formula. So how we will find empirical formula? We will see a step to find molecular formula of a compound. We will see it later on. First you see here, this is your benzene, C6H6. Its empirical formula will be CH. What will be its mass? Its mass will be 12 into 6, 72 plus 1 into 6, 78. What will be its empirical mass? 13. So now this 78 and this 13, how many times it is heavier than 13? Obviously 6 times, because we are knowing that 13 6 are 78. But if it is unknown, then what we will do? So now here we are knowing, we are not knowing this one. If we are given only the mass, molecular mass, then how we will find the molecular formula? Then calculate the empirical mass. So now empirical mass is always less than molecular mass. So here if we are given the molecular mass but not molecular formula, we are not given this. Directly we have given find the molecular formula if its empirical mass is this one. If its empirical mass is this one, so we have been given not this, but we have been given 78. We have been given molecular mass. So then we will take the let the number be n. This is n times heavier of empirical formula. Then this 78, it is equal to n times the empirical mass 13. So n will be what? 78 by 13. Therefore n will be 6. So now n is 6. This stands for CH. So molecular formula will be C6H6. If we see the book, same thing will be here. Step to find the molecular formula. First calculate the empirical mass. If we are knowing the empirical formula, we can calculate the empirical mass. Now, divide its molecular mass by empirical weight. I have taken the same. Divide the molecular mass by its empirical weight. We will get the number n. Then n will be what? Molecular mass by empirical mass. Here is another example. So my dear friend, one numerical you will find in your board exam from this chapter. Be 100% sure. Be 100% sure that one relation we must be knowing. Sometimes we may not be given this molecular mass. Suppose the molecular mass of this benzene is 72. We may be given vapor density is 39. In the previous class we had seen that molecular mass, it is twice of vapor density. If vapor density is 39, obviously the molecular mass will be 78. Now after getting the question, you will be confused that there is no molecular mass. From where we should get the molecular mass? No need to worry. If we are knowing the vapor density, value of vapor density, molecular mass will be twice. Sometimes the question will be, after find the molecular mass, find the vapor density. No problem. If we are knowing the molecular mass, vapor density will be half of the molecular mass. No need to worry at all. Then here we will see in the next chapter calculation based on chemical equations. This is nothing, this is the repetitions. Here first, what is chemical equation? A chemical equation is a balanced equation. We have studied in class 7, 8, 9. A balanced equation means the number of atoms of different elements should be same on either side of the arrow. Means number of atoms of every element on reactant and as well as product side should be same. So it is not merely a qualitative statement, but it is also quantitative analysis information. What is the mass of the reactant, that much will be the mass of the products. Here two things we have to see. Chemical equation gives information, moles and masses of various reactants. What are the reactants? What are its masses? It gives. Second thing, volume of gases, reactants and products measured at STP. One very important thing, if it is CO2, I had told you, my dear friends, its molecular mass will be, it is one molecule. So if it is one molecule, its molecular mass will be 12 plus 32. It will be 44 AMU. Now if we take 44 grams, 44 gram of carbon dioxide is called 1 mole, which will contain 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of this, and at STP it will have 22.4 liter or 22.4 decimeter cube or 22,400 cm cube if it is one molecule. If it is two molecule, then obviously it will be 88, will be 2 mole. And what will be the volume of gas twice? If it is 3 molecule, then it will be 3 into this or 3 into this or 3 into this. So at NTP or at STP, any gaseous, 1 mole of any gas will have the volume 22.4 liters. This is called molar volume. So my dear friends, it is for today. Next day we shall see some another chapter. Try to solve the numericals at home. If you have any problem, you can ask on phone. I will be available for you. Wish you all the best.